You're watching the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand.
Salah to settle it in front of the Kop.
Yes, good morning. Welcome back to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand. Good to be back with you after a nice weekend away in Cornwall for myself. Very interesting weekend. But listen, forget all of that because it's back, right? On the radar, general news, Hot Copics is even back tomorrow with myself and Mario, so make sure you're around for that one. But it's all good, we're all back, and we're still trying to buy Romeo Lavia. We're hearing that talks are still ongoing. There's not necessarily an update. It's more that we're being told that the talks are just still ongoing. So again, how long will that take? Fending off competition from the likes of Chelsea as well as they look to bring in Caicedo. But yeah, negotiations are still ongoing. So not necessarily an update for you, but you know, James Pearce told us 2 hours ago that they believe they can get a deal done and the terms of on their terms and things are progressing. So this one stands a very realistic possibility now of getting done. It would be nice, wouldn't it, if you know this just happened by the end of the week. Slightly worrying that we're now at the end of July going into August without you know all of our business being done. But this wasn't necessarily the video I wanted to focus on today. Again, on the radar, we'll be back with that tomorrow if there is an update for Lavia. But an interesting quote from Jurgen Klopp on Darwin Núñez, right? As we know, scintillating pre-season form, 4 goals and an assist in a total of 3 45-minute starts in these games so far for Darwin. And as we know, first season at Anfield in the Premier League resulted in 9 goals and 3 assists in 19 Premier League appearances, which is actually pretty much a goal in every other game, which as a striker, you know, that's always what you should be aiming for. I remember Robbie Fowler, Michael Owen, all these kind of guys back in the day, they would long to get a 1-in-2 goal to game ratio. So now that, you know, we're seeing him having a real proper long pre-season, we're seeing him learn English more, we're seeing him integrate more with the team. He's got the number 9 on his back now. He's so happy about that, and he has started most games and he has scored in every game in pre-season. But how does that pre-season form translate into the Premier League? It's interesting. I've seen a couple of bits recently that say that Liverpool have actually got the best depth when it comes to attacking players in the Premier League. We genuinely do have 5, and I'm going to add Ben Doak as a 6th actually, in terms of 6 players that any of them could play and no one would be upset with them. You know, you've got the likes of Jota and Diaz on the left, Gakpo and Núñez through the middle, and Doak and Salah on the right. Again, we're going to touch more on how well the kids did against Leicester, the Bobby Clarks, the Dokes, the Quanzas as well. Really interested to see if you guys think we actually don't need another centre-back. We've got one waiting in João Quença. But going back to Klopp on what he said about Darwin Núñez, he says that he will need to improve his defensive game, right? He wants him to actually get better at being a defender if he wants to, you know, be a guaranteed starter every week. And I think that's why Cody Gakpo stayed in that sole number 9 position for so long towards the end of the season, which kind of made Darwin an impact player at that point. But if you look at Bobby Firmino, who's been the number 9, maybe the best number 9 we've had since Torres, well, for sure since Torres, he was the first defender of our team. And when I say that, he pressed, he harried, he made sure he closed the angles, he made sure that there was no time on the ball for goalkeepers or defenders. He literally was our first line of defence, and that's how we scored so many goals, from suffocating defences, forcing them in to make mistakes. Salah there, Mane there, who are you going to pass to? You almost, when you've got those 3 players closing on you, what do you do? And I think, yes, Mane and Firmino have gone, but we can recreate the new 3. Obviously, Salah stays on the right, but we can recreate an interchangeable Mane and Firmino with the likes of Diaz, Jota, Gakpo and Núñez. Now, he actually said the ticket into the team, this is so interesting, and again, I wanted to ask your thoughts on it. Please let me know what you think in the comments. But Klopp said the ticket into the team will be the readiness to defend. He said this in the press conference. I've never heard about a team being really successful with sloppy defending. It doesn't happen. And it's interesting that when he talks about defending, you know, you're thinking of the Trents, a lot of question marks over his defending in the last few years from the media, not necessarily myself. You've got Virgil, Konate, Robertson, and Alisson is a great sweeper keeper as well. But he's actually talking about sloppy defending at the top of the pitch. Again, how many goals did Liverpool score through getting the ball back early in the other third and forcing people into mistake. And it's interesting to see that now Jurgen Klopp is asking Darwin Núñez to do the same. We know he's quick, we know he's athletic, we know he's young, we know he's got bags of pace, and you know, we know he can get back and help out. But I think he now needs to understand, yes, you've got to go and score the goals, and he's doing a great job of that this pre-season. Let's not forget he scored 4 in one game last season as well. He knows he needs to score goals. That is ultimately a number 9's job. So if you keep doing that, you're not going to get dropped, right? The goals pay the bills. The goals win you the points win you leagues and trophies. That's just the currency of football. Score your goals. But I think what he needs to learn is to go and look back at Bobby Firmino from 2018 to 2020 in terms of the way he played, being that link-up man. It's not necessarily about being on the end of everything, you know, being that number 9, he is allowed to come a bit deeper. You've got, obviously, Gakpo, Diaz, Salah, Núñez, all Diaz and Jota all running in behind if he needs to drop deep and play someone in. So it's about linking play in an attacking sense, but also being that first line of defence. Now, Salah does it. He helps out with Trent. You know, we've seen Diaz help back with Robertson, Jota as well. But now it's all about smelling that danger and being the first man to go and press and be that guy. The Liverpool boss clearly is impressed with Núñez's form going into the pre-season. He said, and I quote, "He was good. You can see he's a handful, speed, typical goal scorer being there, smelling it and finishing it off. It's all the same for Darwin and all the other strikers. I know about the quality they have, and they need to do both, defend and be influential in other offensive situations." So this is about obviously translating his pre-season form into the season. Again, he was buzzing, looking great in that new kit when he scored against Leicester the other night. A great performance. But as we know, there's such an intense competition for Liverpool's attack now. You almost can't make a mistake, even in pre-season, you're right. But at the minute, who starts up front in that number 9 position for you against Chelsea, okay? Who is the guy? Is it Gakpo or is it Núñez, right? Who is the guy that is going to start that first game of the season at Stamford Bridge? I'd love to kind of get a discourse going. Again, there is the Discord with the link in the description that you can go and chat about this. But the options are looking great. I can't lie. Really, really impressed with how Alexis McAllister's been playing. Really impressed as well with Szoboszlai's long-range halfway line effort that was amazingly saved by the goalie in that. It was the Leicester game, wasn't it? Or was it the other game? I can't remember. But next up, as we know, Wednesday, we play the current German champions, Bayern Munich. This would have been a nice opportunity to say hi to Mane, but he's now gone to Al Nassr. But with the start of the campaign now just 2 weeks away, we have to improve on what we did last season. And I think when you look at the players that we've sold, yes, we need to bring more in. I've spoken about the Lavias, maybe even looking at Quansah as a defender instead of bringing one in. But in the next 2 weeks, there's still a lot of work to be done. And again, playing Bayern Munich is going to be great. That gives you that intensity in the game. Again, there's another game at Preston at the weekend before we really get stuck into things. But considering the players that we sold in the window so far, 6 of them have gone. We've brought 2 in so far. I'm being really positively enthused by the youngsters that we've seen so far on this tour. Now, amazing goal by Bobby Clark. Really happy for him to score. Ben Doak, great header at the back stick. Excited for him as well. Again, Núñez scoring. Again, Jota scoring against Leicester, who were awful, if I'm honest. They really did look like a championship side. I mean, that team barely recognisable from the Leicester teams that we've seen in the Premier League recently. But Danny Ward was there, former Liverpool goalkeeper. Patson Daka, all Brighton, you know, Winks, Harry Winks, Kieran Dewsbury-Hall and Didi, and the rest made it a fairly easy afternoon for Liverpool. I watched the game. Again, great finish from Núñez, alert, always smelling if there's going to be a mistake, if there's danger to be pounced upon. Bobby Clark, great finish, another Mo Salah assist. Diogo Jota, again, scoring a header. How good is he in the air? And then Ben Doak. So what I also wanted to concentrate on in this video is talking about the kids for next season and who will we see in these Europa League and League Cup fixtures as well. We also saw Curtis Jones in a number 6 role, and the stats proved that he was excellent in that role. So again, is that another option that Klopp has now unlocked for us to use this season? Curtis Jones as the sitter. Again, we're still going in for Lavia, but at the minute, Curtis Jones is doing a great job in pre-season. Really happy to see it. But I'm going to give you some names in particular that I've been super impressed with in terms of names that we maybe haven't seen so far. James McConnell, really impressed by this young man. Mature, got a massive range to his passing, great vision. So I'm really looking forward to seeing a bit more of him. We've already seen a bit of Lewis Kumas. Now, Jarell Quansah, right? Everything about this lad tells me, just from looking at him, by the way, and seeing him play, that he's got absolutely everything that you would need to become a top centre-back in the Premier League. I would actually go as far to say that there's a lot of similarities between him and Colwill, again, a player that we've been linked with. But as this guy has already been the captain of the under-21s, as he is a great age as well, he's only 20, born in 2003 in Warrington, can actually play for England or Scotland. But this guy, in terms of being big, strong, powerful, the right height, right-footed, can play at a right-back position as well as centre-back, I think we might have what we already need right under our noses, guys. And again, let me know what you think to that one in the comments. I don't know if you guys saw the block he made in that game. Unbelievable. But really interested to seeing a bit more of Jarell Quansah this season. Could he be the new Nat Phillips, the guy that comes in and plays as that 5th centre-back? We don't know. But really interested to see if he's actually going to play against this Bayern Munich team, who are the German champions right now, of course. But really excited to see more of him. Again, let me know if you're agreeing with that in the comments. Really excited to see Ben Doak. All Liverpool fans will tell you how excited they are to see this kid perform. He's so dangerous, he's so tricky, he's so direct. That's one of the things that I think wingers in this day and age lack, maybe. You know, you see the inverted types, the Jack Grealishes, who get the ball, play it back inside until he makes that key pass or that key shot on goal. But a lot of the wingers aren't as direct as they used to be. You know, even Ryan Babel, little step over, get to the byline, cross it in. And I think Ben Doak could be that guy to actually come in and play a lot of games in the Europa League and, of course, the League Cup as well. Big fan of his. Callum Scanlon's made a good impact when he's come on and played for Liverpool. But I'm going to pick out 3 in particular: Ben Doak, James McConnell and Jarell Quansah. Super excited to see how they get on during this season. And again, I don't think it's worth selling any of them, as we're still looking to bring in players. We can't be selling any more players until we bring in at least 2 or more. But as we know, Fabinho officially announced that he's left by both clubs, and we're still confident on Lavia. That is still the #1 target. And as I said, James Pearce said this morning that talks with Southampton over a deal for the defensive midfielder remain ongoing. So have a little bet in the comments. When does that deal get done? When does it go over the line? And when do we see our new number 6 at Anfield? As I said, guys, make sure that you are involved with the Kop TV in terms of liking, commenting, subscribing. We will be back tomorrow with a hot topic. So again, in the comments right now, what do you want me and Mario to discuss for you tomorrow, as we are just under 2 weeks away from the season starting all over again. All the madness starts again. So let me know in the comments. Darwin being that first defender, that Bobby Firmino role. Interesting quotes from Klopp. I agree with him though, and I do think if he can add that aspect to his game as well as scoring more goals, he's an absolute no-brainer to start. And again, how lucky are we to have Cody Gakpo just underneath him or in front of him as well in that attacking front line. And let me know which kids have impressed you during the pre-season tour thus far. Don't forget, we'll be back on Wednesday again after Hot Topics on Tuesday with a review of the game against Bayern Munich. So really looking forward to giving you more content this week, guys. Make sure you smash that like button and we'll see you soon. Take care.
Thanks for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it.
Please, guys, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to the Kop TV.
The voice of football's most famous stand.